Okay. I know you guys can hear me, but you can't see me. I gotta take a look at why that is. Usual baloney. Hello. Um, why is my video capture device not working? That? Oh, there. Uh, Hey, look, there I am. Bigger. Okay. Let's see now. Revelo Hideno. Uh, so I'm actually starting a patch and didn't I made it, so I didn't have time to prep for any of this. Um, let's see, where am I? Spirituality Dragon. Thank you. A few people hanging out here in Castle. I think we mentioned this last time around, but you guys may notice that Castle Atos is now governed by Atos. Um, so that had been an issue for quite some time, and Allium sorted that out, which because that was not working, we didn't make any new uh, POT templates for a long time because we weren't sure if there was a problem with implementation. So once we figured that out, we are now documenting the process from A to Z, and we will now be able to do some interesting things. We have a couple of plans on, uh, yeah, I don't know. We have a couple of plans already in place, and we will be hopefully putting out a new template by January, and then a few more should follow after that. So, oh, it just said player town, some generic thing, which is a catch-all, because it couldn't sort out who the governor was. Um, and of course, that meant that we couldn't place lots, we couldn't do deco and things like that. Uh, and oddly enough, I like I did a little bit of research into it, and internally I have like a troubleshooting list of what I did and what I've eliminated as the cause. And then since I couldn't figure it out, but we wanted to decorate for fall and do some other special stuff in Castellatos, um, the we I shifted to figuring out workarounds, and Allium ended up looking at it. But the workarounds were that what I'm standing on right now, and some of you are, is actually a castle lot that I baked into the scene, and some of you may have noticed. I think I hope I won't get in trouble here, but I think that the stuff that we did out front is presentable enough that I could show it off a little bit. So we put a lot out here beyond the area where you guys could get to. It's just this was really just empty, flat grass and stuff, And so now, well, no, I was too close to the thing. So, all right, we'll have to wait. I have to get in there and then fix it again. But so we put in some hard-coded stuff, so that way we would be able to go in there and do some decorations and things like that. But now that the POT functionality is working correctly, we will be able to do things a lot easier. And I don't know if I'll be. Actually, I think we talked about it. I'm going to leave the castle lot where it is in the courtyard. Um, but yeah. So that way, that functionality will allow us to put things into the uh, property manager and bring them back out. So that way, we'll be able to do seasonal stuff and rotate through and all that neat thing. So, yeah, leveraging of a bunch of technologies, I guess you'd say. That's actually interesting that might still have to work on some LOD work here for these. I think that this is kind of expected here. So anyway, there's a homestead out here. And I'm not going to say too much about it because I think we were talking about having some kind of a little mini backstory for it. You know, that's somebody doing something or other for it to support the walled-in castle. And then over there, there's on the other side behind the air balloon is some other stuff which I think we need to mess around with our distances for culling on that because it's I don't know if it's going to be visible. I'll go up to the fence, see if it pops up. There you go. See, yeah. So we definitely need to do some work on that, so that way players will be able to see it. And I have an area here that is actually another lot in this one small section here, which I intended to use for showing off the prizes, mainly the house and stuff like that that I usually give away during the live streams. So anyway, with all that said, that's a little bit in flux because we fixed the thing. So now some of it might change um, uh, how that functions and stuff. So, all right. So I'm going to head over to the courtyard again. Just hang out with you guys over there. A little bird's eye view of the town. So I am not going to be going through my usual stuff today. I will say that this is Shroud of the Avatar, a free-to-play online game, and we have over 400 scenes or zones that you could check out, plus player-owned towns, which are pretty much unique in their own way, since everybody decorates their own stuff, and player dungeons and all sorts of stuff. This is our release 143 update live stream. We updated the game last Monday, the last Monday of October. So yeah, pretty much 13 days ago, I guess. And the live stream usually happens on the Friday following the update, but that was Halloween, so we didn't have a stream. Usually I have a get together here at my house on Halloween, and usually we have like hundreds of people come by. This year there were 6. So uh, it was I actually didn't have my get together this year because I just needed to like um, relax for a little bit. I needed to go offline, you know what I mean? And I was still expecting kids and stuff to show up, but I guess it was fortuitous or predictive or whatever that nobody showed up anyway. So I don't know, and I'm not sure why that happened. I actually even looked up afterwards to see if there was some kind of a trend that nobody was trick-or-treating this year. I've heard from some people that they had their normal levels, so I don't know. What did you guys experience? Anybody have unusual trick-or-treat levels this year? Um, okay, so let me see. As I said, this is more of a free form type of thing. We'll still be doing the prizings, but I haven't chosen the prizes, so we'll try to do those on the fly. And I'm actually I'm going to start building the patch after the live stream is over. I'm going to keep this live stream short, not for any other reason than building the patch will conflict with the prize scripts. So I don't want to actually have that situation where I can't draw prizes and stuff like that. So I'm just going to do the build after, and I also do need to kind of keep an eye on it just in case sometimes it craps out on us in the middle. So don't want to be saying, hold on, guys, while I go and fix stuff. So, yeah, I had leftover candy. I bought 2 big bags of candy, and one of them got donated to uh, um, the school administration folks, so they could eat that. The one that I didn't open, and then the other one I stole. Like I'm having a piece of candy, like 1 or 2 a day, which is obviously not a good thing, but whatever. So the phrase is fall colors. Yes, fall colors. In fact, I will go update that because I didn't even do that yet. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna do this over here. Sorry, a little more disheveled than usual. Prize phrase. Prize phrase. Where is it? There it is. Stream, I'm sure. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Okay. All right. And get this up there. Yep. Full colors. So the phrase can be found in the release notes. You know, those things on the website that tell you what we updated and all sorts of neat information. But phrases, fall colors. Capitalization doesn't matter. It's just fall space colors. And that'll work out. I'm just gonna take the second to update prizes in here to not say what they were last month. And when we do the prize drawing, we'll figure it out. Isn't that exciting? So I've been doing a bunch of stuff. So I'll tell you what's been going on. Okay, and save, and let me get this into the thing. Oh, there you go. That's our submission form. I'm doing things a little bit differently. Instead of sharing the game, I'm sharing a portion of my screen, so that way I could move things in and out easier. 43, and do that. Okay. Sorry, one more thing. Clean up. If I don't do it now, then things will get messed up. I got way too many things open. Don't know where it went. Okay, can't find it, so I guess I'll sort that out later. Okay. Okie dokie. So let's Let's see now, where were we? Okay, as far as housekeeping is concerned, I don't think there's anything major I need to talk about now. Just a reminder, of course, that automated gameplay of any kind is actually, well, the players will say it's frowned upon, but technically it's against the TOS. So specifically, if you're botting, don't. So you'll get a suspension the first time you're caught botting, and the second time you will get a permanent ban. And we do keep the logs. We know what's going on. We can see it. So don't do it. Um, the part where it'll say is frowned upon is like, I mean, if you're sitting in front of the computer and you're crafting over and over again, stuff like that, but no macros, still no macros, no hotkeys, things like that. Um, AFK playing is still considered automated gameplay. So if you're not there, you don't respond when you're, doing stuff, then you may be tagged for botting. So we do expect that the player base will self-police a lot of this stuff. And so we see what's going on. We get reports. Sometimes we see it because the logs will alert us to it, depending on what's going on. And then we'll be taking action. So luckily, it's not that often that we do have to. But this week there was a player who got suspended for botting. But of course, they'll be welcome back after the week suspension, and nothing more will be said about that as long as they don't bot again. And that's it. So, and it's not like everybody gets a free shot at botting because you get suspended for a week. And if there's if there's any maliciousness involved, then you may actually get more than just a suspension. But anyway, point is, don't bot. Don't be like this guy. Don't bot. So, all right. Let's see here. All right. So there are other things that in housekeeping, I guess. Um, Laney is AFK. So anything, the prizes that are won today, and the other stuff that I know that some of you guys are waiting for, will be mailed out after next weekend. Of course, we did in the advertisement and announcements for the ultra rares. They will be mailed out the week of the 17th, and we're pretty much going to be doing that as a standard. For when there's cyclic mailing of stuff. Uh, that'll, I don't think it's going to apply to the uh, prizes on the live streams, but the ultra rares are always going to be that last week of the release. Um, and yeah, we might refine those things. Speaking of refinement, the streamer bundles, we're going back to the previous methods for distributing streamer bundles. We tried a thing, it didn't work. So, and we're working on a replacement for the whole uh, methodology of that. The streamer bundles originally were supposed to be a stopgap. They were not meant to be the thing. Um, and so we have to actually do some work to get our goal is to actually do Twitch loot drops, and that was actually in the white paper that was written up when we developed the program way back in the day. This was like a phased approach. It was a phase one, phase two, and a phase three, and so the later phase did not happen yet. So got to look into that and see what can be done about it. Of course, that's takes a little bit of time to do the research and takes away from other things based on the resources that I have, meaning hands, people. So I see a note here that the Atos buff in Castle Atos is up to maximum. So if you're not in Castle Atos and you can hear my voice, you should definitely come over here and jump in the pool. I'm going over there now. Jump in, and you'll get a little bit of a swirl, and that gives you this buff up here, Blessing of Atos, maximum strength, and that's giving me plus 30 health, plus 30 focus, and blah 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 for 48 hours total. So it's really 2 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes right now. Yeah. So anyway, that's this Castle Atos is our meeting area for players to get together. There's a training area. I guess why not, right? I'll talk about some of this stuff. I don't think we do that a lot. So over here, there are training dummies and practice archery buttes and stuff like that. So you could come over here into Castle Atos, get the buffs. There's the one buff over here, like we just got. That's up to maximum right now. That depends on how many people are actually in Castle Atos as to how strong it is. And then there's this other one over here. If you jump into this one, then you get a training buff that lasts as long as you stay in the scene. Blessing of Learning. So it doubles doubles the speed of using up your XP. So basically, and this is the thing, it's not an additional XP bonus. It's if you have the way our game works, you have an XP pool. So you go out, kill things, collect, cotton, trees, whatever, and then you'll have a pool of XP in your adventure or producer pool. And then when you actually do stuff that's either harder than you normally do, or you try to train up the skill, it uses up the XP in that pool. Um, so when the buffs are applied, then um, when the buffs are applied, then and this is like there's an obsidian item of learning and things along those potions and stuff like along those lines. It eats up the pool faster. So in other words, it'll raise your level faster. And so but once you run out of the pool, then obviously you need to go out and kill things again. Uh, so anyway, so that'll double your speed basically on training up. So let's see now. Yeah, so that was the two items of note for, I guess three technically, for this release update. Now there's a bunch of questions and stuff coming in here. Can I please repeat what? That's streamer bundles. Okay, so the streamer bundles, we tried a thing. Basically, uh, the problem is that everybody is hoarding these things. It's still an issue. But what we basically did is we came out and said, look, you gotta when you get streamer bundles, use them. We even added a decoration streamer bundle that's guaranteed to be in each streamer bundle. So when you open up your streamer bundle, you will get a decoration version of the bundle itself. So if you want to use the bundles for decorations, then you can still do that, but then get the actual bundles out of the game. So there's a lot of players that have piles of these things, and it causes issues, extra work to make sure that the streamers aren't actually hoarding those things themselves and opening them themselves and things along those lines. So basically, um, when what we ended up doing was we said, okay, we're going to make sure that the streamers are only getting the amount of bundles that they to replace a specific cache of number of bundles that we wanted them to hold on to on a monthly basis. So um, uh, the uh, this actually made things a little bit harder and a little bit worse off. So what we ended up doing at this point is we're going back to the way we were doing it before, but we are putting a higher priority on replacing the system in its entirety with a better way of doing things. So that's pretty much what we're talking about. So, all right. So, hopefully that answers the question. So, okay. So, all right, I see. I know that you have a wish list item up there. That wish list item needs to be discussed with the team, and we have to look at what we're going to do with all that. I do not believe that that's been brought up yet, so that'll probably be at the beginning of the next sprint to talk about. And either that or we could. Well, this week is probably going to be, yeah, at minimum it'll be next week's team meeting when we talk about that. Hold on, I just want to mark this down. Yeah, 19th. So yeah, so we have seen the wish list item, and that has to be looked at and figure out what we're going to do with that there. So uh, Dabs, no, I'm not saying that there will be no more streamer bundles. I'm saying we're going back to the way we were doing it for the streamers. This has nothing to do with the players. This has to do with the streamers and the distribution of the streamer bundles to the streamers. So that will, this system, as I said, when I wrote up a white paper on how this was supposed to work in 2019, actually, right when I first came on board with the team, and during 2020 we had developed this out. It was actually Lainey and I together who worked on this before she was actually actively even working on the team. And the white paper does not match how it's actually working in game because the coding was not actually implemented the way that it was originally intended to be done. There were some issues with getting the resources to get everything together, and the community person at the time did not want to actually work on utilize it. So it kind of ended up being what it is now. So the problem we have now is the the problem that we have now is that the bundles and like, so Dab, you're asking the right question, right? What's the difference between hoarding purple bundles or gray bundles? Okay, so the streamer bundles, when they're being hoarded, are the same bundles that the streamers are not allowed to open. So every month we have to audit, look through all the logs to make sure streamers have not opened them. Okay, because if a streamer opens them, that's it. They're out of the streaming program. Period. It's a one-shot deal. There's no second chances on that. And the issue we have here are that streamers are going on other streams and winning streamer bundles. So we really need people to open them up so that way they're not hanging around and that we have to figure out which streamer bundles are which. Um, so the whole system, based on that is uh, an administrative nightmare. If functionally it works, there's nothing technically wrong with it, but there's oversight that needs to be done. To, otherwise, we could have a little bit of a graph problem. So anyway, that's what that is. Yeah. So I know, and I'm being a little bit more detailed than we normally probably would, but and I might get yelled at for telling you guys a lot of details. But hey, nobody's here to supervise me today. So uh, um, basically, that's the problem. And it was always the intent for us to go to Twitch drops, and that will allow us to have a little bit different of a loop table on it, and those drops will be delivered immediately, and they will not, they'll go directly to the person who won it, so we don't have to worry about somebody, hoarding things that, well, not hoarding things, but we wouldn't have to worry about the streamers actually taking those things for themselves. Yeah, I know, trust, whatever. So, and I mean, granted, we have not had this problem, so I just want to say that nobody's actually violated that rule, but it's trust and verify, right? So um, that's the thing. All right, so Respawn will eliminate the any requirement for human interaction or oversight that way, manual oversight, so it'll sort that out. So um, okay, so um, that's some materials. Um, I don't know the answer to that question. We'd have to go and look into this. So, um, as far, I'm sorry, Hemnu, asking about crafted cloaks, that they don't take on the stats of the materials. So, I'm not sure. I don't think that was intended to happen. I mean, I don't think it was intended that they took on the um, uh, the stats because they're not generally like armor set type stuff. But that's a question I would say go ahead and ask that as that's actually an ideal ask a dev, but obviously you don't need to put it in ask a dev at this point. Um, I Hemno, if you don't mind, please post that as a wish list item. Even though I'm not sure it would be a wish list, it may actually be something. So I'm not sure if it's a bug or a wish list. So, but put it in the wish list to be safe. And just note that you would discuss this on stream and you were advised to put it there. That way it won't disappear off the face of the earth, and I won't forget. So we'll look at that and figure out what the answer is and make adjustments if needed. So, okay, so let's see here. Where are we? Okay, well, it's already coming up to the top of the hour. So if you haven't already, please put in fall colors, fall space colors into any in-game chat. Um, that will get you into the drawing. If you want to be even more supportive, you could purchase something on the website during this, during the stream now, up to when we do the drawing. Anything purchased on the website during the day also enters you into the drawing, and that will actually help the game as well, obviously. I guess I'll go ahead. I should really definitely talk about the ultra rares and the sales and everything that we have going on right now. Um, all right, so Andrew Night Owl has a question. Let me see. Is there more info on the tanning hides, smelting ore, crafting thread, making dyes players at the computer, but doesn't go AFK? How many hours are we allowed to play the game before we get a warning? If Okay, not sure. If you're at the computer, you could play the game as many hours as you want. So I mean, if you're sitting at the crafting table and you got like tens of thousands of things and it's basically going to be 12 hours of crafting, by all means you could do that. Obviously, do not use a script to do it. But you could be sitting there watching YouTube videos or whatever else if you want while you're doing that type of thing. You could even double box. If you look at our TOS rules, double boxing is not illegal as long as you are controlling both characters. So obviously, double boxing in adventure scenarios is not practical, without some kind of an assistance. I mean, you could have another guy on auto attack and use follow and things like that, so that you could try to do that type of thing. And he's dabs, I am sure you do. We had one guy who claimed that he could do. He even had a video where he was showing 9 at a time. But the guy was definitely macroing. See, and this is the problem when you're multi-boxing. You want to try to avoid a situation where we start having to look at you because you might be botting, right? So my point here, and this is the thing, yeah, 0 macros. But here's the thing. So like if you're doing a lot of um, crafting, and it's obviously a lot of repetitive key hitting. That's probably an ideal time to double multi-box is what I'm saying. So you could have the one character up who's doing the crafting, so that way you're actually there at the keyboard. You could go off an adventure and do or even gather more resources on another client. And then if anybody asks or talks to you, you're able to interact, and we know you're there at the keys. So, and that's pretty much the deal is there. So, So no, there's no limit. The limit is really based on your RAM, your CPU, and functionality. Um, but yeah, I mean, you could obviously you could have town sitters hanging out and everything. There's nothing against the rules in that. Again, the only way we will the only areas where we do the rules are against, botting, automation, and literally, AFK playing. So, where you're paying attention to something else. And so if players are trying to talk to you in the game and you don't respond and your character is doing something over and over again, expect to be reported. I mean, this is, as I said, self-policing, right? But yeah, there's no restriction as far as how many game clients you could run at one time. If we ever felt a need to do that, then that would be in the client. There would be a restriction um, to doing that type of thing, and yeah, we can do it, but I don't really see a need for it at this point. So, um, okay, so let's see here. And I want to scroll back on chat for a second because I know that there were questions going on before I started answering questions. Yeah, so or way back in the beginning, Alpha Fishstick said that they weren't expecting to see a stream. As I said, normally we would do this on the Friday following the release, but because of Halloween, it delayed it for a week, um, and doing it today instead. Um, and of course, we put the streams up on well, Twitch archives them for some period of time, which I think they've reduced again. Um, Supposedly it's about a month, and but I've seen some of them drop off within a month, so I'm not really happy about that. But we do export them and archive them up to our YouTube channel as well, and so if you miss the live stream, you could definitely catch everything on those. And some of our live streams have been getting pretty long. Our last monthly one was 4 hours long. Our average at this point is like 3 hours long. This one's going to be shorter, and it's not really. It's going to be shorter today, not because I'm alone or because I have nothing to talk about. I actually have a dinner date, so I am not going to be hanging out too much. Like we definitely have another hour at least. So, if you're not, we'll be able to get a lot of questions in and stuff because I haven't even gotten to anything I probably should be talking about yet. Um, need more lawn chairs. Good deal. Um, yeah, that's pretty funny actually. Um, Allium told me that you guys were looking as like, hey, we want the campfire and the chairs out, so that was pretty cool. All right, let me see. If I got a haircut, oh geez. Well, actually, it's a little bit. Yeah, I get haircuts once in a while, but this one is a little shorter than usual. Um, do, 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 do. See if there's anything more down here. Okay. All right. Now I've caught up to where you guys while we started the stream. And wow, Spellfire at 400 kids. Nice. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened over here. I mean, literally, there were 6 kids. Uh, did my usual thing. I was out in the driveway. I didn't put up all the animatronics, but I'm sure because I'm on a corner, so I'm sure that the lack of animatronics did not dissuade people from coming by my house. And then, of course, I had my fire pit out there and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. It was just weird. The whole neighborhood was quiet. A lot of neighbors had no lights on, things like that. So, I don't know. Maybe it was just too expensive for the candy this year for them. I have no clue. Um, um, okay, let's see. Sorry, just um, yeah, yeah. I'm just seeing Elwin's conversation in Discord about I guess that's Twitch, And yeah, they have some stupid crap going on over there. I mean, our stream is flagged for no commercials. I mean, I honestly might have to change that at some point because income is definitely a thing we need to maintain, especially in this. The economy has gone up so, you know, well, the economy is going down, right? And the inflation's going up, and we're not going to go and change prices and inside the Crown store or anything like that. So, for us to be able to maintain everything at the increased costs, we got to do something. Um, so I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of having commercials in the middle of live streams, but we might have to do something like that. As it is now, Twitch forces a commercial when you connect to a channel, and I think after the stream ends, um, and if the stream loses connection for any reason, because it considers that a restart. But those commercials, I think we get something from that, but they're not our commercials. We're not running those. Which sucks. But all right, so let's see here. No macros. Yep, that's right. Okay, I think. Yep. All right, I am now caught up. Now I just have to see what you guys been talking about since I was scrolling back. um, Yeah, Alpha, that's absolutely fine. RP events are always good. And obviously, yeah, you need more people to do that. And of course, player population is something that we want to increase. Um, Give me 1 second. Here's one. Make sure there's nothing else. Uh, so, all right. There's a couple more here I want to talk about then. Uh, now I gotta remind myself what I was just talking about. Oh yeah, RP, player population. So obviously right now we have a minimal aspect on advertising on marketing, and I'd like to improve upon that. In fact, I'm really considering I need to. Our We had a intern for a little bit, but that's not he's not active anymore at this point. And it's a kind of a summer intended thing, but hopefully we'll get uh, more Baden to come back and be a little bit more active. My hope there was to get him to do some social media stuff and everything. So at this point, I am probably entertaining the idea of looking for somebody who would be volunteering for helping out with our social media accounts and things along those lines. I do still have to talk about that with the rest of the team. So again, this is probably something I might get yelled at for, uh, but I was actually um, thinking about that today. That I absolutely need more hands on that type of thing. Obviously, we need more hands for a bunch of stuff, but if we could get a more consistent uh, social media updates and marketing aspect like that, then we could definitely improve things. I have noticed that the developer live streams, that the work live streams that we've been doing, Scotty, myself, and so on, have actually had a positive impact. It is obvious that some new people have found the game through those, and population had a little bit of a bump that way. So sadly, this month and even last month I was sick. This month I have not. I'm trying to catch up for all the stuff I'm extra behind on. So uh, I have not done any work live streams yet this month. So I'm hoping that I could get back to that. Right now I'm doing a lot of coding. So since I'm coding, I suppose I could probably chat like this while I'm coding, but then you guys wouldn't, I'm not going to put the coding on the screen, so to figure that one out. But um, Uh, yeah, pay attention to Rav, damn it. Uh, anyway, yeah. So my point there is, in the meantime, while we're trying to improve upon all that stuff, word of mouth, definitely spread the word about the game. Hey, if you're able to stream the game, join the streamers program. Even with what I talked about before, with the streamer bundles and stuff like that, that's more of an us problem than a you problem. But um, the more people who stream the game, the more visibility we get. And Obviously, I actually said this like well over a year ago, and this is still something I want to do. The person who I felt was the right person to do it did not want to do it. So, but what I'd like to see, if anybody has a feeling to do this, um, is make short videos, aiming for 5 minutes or less, preferably like even maybe 3 minutes, on how to do a specific thing. Okay. Um, oh, is it directly overhead? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's going away. You're right. This is small. Um, so uh, Basically, there are tutorial videos up on YouTube and everything from 11, 12 years ago, and which of course a lot of those are not valid. They don't have good information anymore, or things along those lines. And Even there's more recent ones and reviews and things along those lines. But one of the things we could do, you guys are playing the game, you know, feel free to go up there and give the game a pat on the back for things you like, as opposed to some other folks who like to beat on the game every day, but then still stick around for whatever reason. Um, but what you want to do is this is like positive feedback, right? Granted, there's going to always be something that needs improvement. There's still work to do. I saw there's a question about episode two. I'll get to that. There's other questions that are in here. I'm going to get to those too. Um, so we know that the game's not, well, the game will never be done because it's a live game, right? It's a living document, as it were. But um, if we could get folks out there saying, hey, here's how you do a thing, and I mean, it could be as simple as like, here's how you combine artifacts to get it to be, the next level up, upgrade your artifact. As an example, right? I mean, they could be also new player stuff on how to, swing your sword and, what's the difference between the skills and how to use the deck system, things like that. They've been done in the past, but newer videos are going to get more views at this point. So if anybody's up for that, then please consider doing it. They don't have to be complicated. In fact, I'm looking for simple stuff. You can make a longer video, but if you could do like segments of topics, because one of the things I'd like to do with those videos is um, incorporate them actually into the game. This is something I know we can do because those of you who've been around for a while will know that the in-game map system, of course, and we won't go into all that detail right now because that's still something that probably be improved too. But the in-game map system at one point was actually going and pulling the map from a web page, from a website. That's the soda map thing, and so um, that was disabled, and the new mapping system that we have in the game today for the mini maps. Um, and let me see here. If I do a map here, I don't think that they'll. There, yeah. So here's a map for Castle Atos, right? And this is actually done by doing well, it's called a screenshot, but it's not technically a screenshot, in the editor, and we produce these maps. Um, let's see here. So this one actually needs to be, yeah, I gotta re go over some of the stuff. Like this one here, the quality on the map is it's too blurry, so I have to change the focus on it. But in fact, this map may have been in there before I started working on them. But um, point being is that this is all in the game. I'd love to bring back the web-based one, but that's going to take a little bit more work because I have to rebuild everything um, Jack uh, Jacob White. He's he and then I came in and I helped him at the end, but he's the one who made the whole system for the soda map thing. Soda map's still available on the website, but it's not currently getting updates. It's not currently, actively supported, as it were. We have to do some work on that thing, and the engine has to be reworked on, reworked or whatever, updated. So just before anybody starts asking questions about that, yeah, I still plan on, but I have no timetable for it. Um, so I'm going around in a circle, but the point is that at one point we had web content coming in. We even had Discord actually uh, um, tied in to the chat system. That that was disabled because of a policy issue with Discord, and um, that would have to be again looked at and stuff if we could bring it back in and everything like that. But that was kind of neat when it did work. And then again, the maps were going to soda maps. So the idea here is that if if anybody did like YouTube videos or whatever, you can even do this as part of a live stream and then save them off as videos. I could break them up into segments and then actually add tooltips into the game like we have now, right? So if you go to the player guide, there could be links in there that'll bring up in game the actual, just like the mini map would be its own window. So the video could come up in game and help guide you through. And you could watch the video while you're actually playing the game and doing a thing. Some of those uh, I have them turned off myself here, but when you're new, it'll come up with those little bubbles that say, click here for more information on how to do it. I could actually put the videos into those. So that's something I've been wanting to do for quite some time. I have not been able to get around to doing it, and I am definitely not the person to do them, as you could tell from this conversation here, because a 3-minute video would turn into a 30-minute video, and I'd talk about everything except for what the hell it was I was supposed to do. So there you go. Yay. Um, okay, so now let me see if I can knock out some of these questions that I've seen that um, do, 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 do. Get hold music. Da, da, da. Um, all right. All right, yeah, there's that, and um, yeah. So yeah, Alpha, if you could stream, that would be cool too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I'm doing the work streams. Because this way I get things in front of people and they see what we're doing and all that type of thing. So, um, oh, what's tasking synonym? Okay, and yeah, so all right, so I think I don't know how far back it is. Wasn't that far back? So yeah, Hemnu, that's I was talking about with the Twitch drops for doing that for Soda. That involved uh, tech. The tech that would have to go in for that is on the website side, which I could do. Back when we first proposed it, I did not have access or understanding of how to do the stuff that we're doing on our website because we don't do the website is actually deployed. We have a lot of custom code, and the website is actually deployed from our servers internally, as opposed to like going on and doing all the stuff within a CRM. There is a CRM, but we have extra stuff. So if I went up and did things on the website, it would get overwritten by our internal stuff. So anyway, I know how to do that now. Um, but again, it comes down to time. So, uh, and Tassilo is also a time issue where he doesn't have enough time to do all this development stuff. So, it like even the 3 tier subscription that we finally got put in place, I had been trying to get that done for 2 years. So it's all resource driven. Uh, hopefully one day here we could get the income up enough that we'll be able to actually get more resources and then advance all the stuff that we can do quicker. So that's the one of the main problems we have is the speed because of the lack of resources. Um, so yeah, so we're hoping to get to the Twitch drops and get them in place. So I think yeah, that was after. So all right. Now let me see who, where. There's another one back here. I don't want to drop this. Mondravis, I will be addressing your question. In fact, we're going to go and look at this because I'm not sure what the problem really is. But we're going to look at it. We'll do that live on stream. And scrolling down. Uh, oh, hold on before I lose my video. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Cat Dude said during his interview on Twitch a couple of weeks back, he made plentiful mention of soda, and that'll be reposted on YouTube soon. Cool, good deal. Yeah, make sure do some hashtags. I think it was LB soda, and there's some other stuff in there, but try to get some a community thing going for it. Um, 'Cause I'm not the best at social media, so. Um, Okay, so let me see here. Another that one. Yeah. So okay. So it's interesting. Hemnu brings up about maps. It would be nice if survey skills would show resource nodes on the map. That's something that I would actually uh, think might be best done through Lua, through the API, the Lua API. Um, And yeah, so for instance, and I bring this up, some people are going to roll their eyes. Elder Scrolls Online, I did a lot of Lua work over there. I was involved in making the Lua framework, or well, not making it, but improving it and getting it working. I was in the Sigic Order, which is kind of like a closed alpha team, working along with um, ZeniMax, but kind of like um, what I and a bunch of other players were doing with Portalarium back in the day when Portalarium was running the game. We would still go down there and offer assistance and help out and things like that. So it became more of that type of thing with Elder Scrolls Online, and they if we don't have that stuff exposed in the API, we may consider doing that. And this is not the API, the statistics API. This would be the Lua API for add-ons to be made. So that way you could actually have an add-on that would add icons onto your map and as another layer. That's something that was done in Elder Scrolls Online and was actually very popular. In fact, I used it too. So, all right. So yeah, there's giveaways today. We're late as usual. So again, if you haven't said fall colors, please say fall colors, and then I will go down that rabbit hole. So let me see. I just want to try to catch up on the thing here a little bit. Gotcha. Yep. No side comment. All right. No, that's cool. Um, so Carlos has some questions about the Elasticsearch API, which is again different API than the Lua one. So hold that for a second. Um, Do, 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 do. Why does it visit maps and others do not? They all have maps, actually. I think there are 6 scenes or 6 zones in the entire game that don't have maps at this stage. Um, and so if you're not seeing a map, I do not know what to tell you. The only places that don't have actual maps but do have what we call map cards, which are sometimes humorous statements, are dungeons and other places that we are not going to be putting maps in for because well, they'd be cheating. So trying to think of a place I could jump to real quick and show that, but basically instead of having the map, you'll actually get some text up on the screen, and it's usually some. Most of them, I believe, are um, as I said, slightly humorous things about why there's no map, like your dog ate it, that type of thing, or you bought a map from somebody, some sketchy looking guy, vendor, and it turned out that it was a map um, to his backyard or something. I don't know, but I mean, I worked on. I actually have a spreadsheet with all the stuff. Those are all documented in there, and uh, there's uh, there's actually some special things in there. If you come across them and find them, there's actually something more than just the individual things. But I refuse to tell you what that is because it's considered an egg. So anyway, okay. So let's see here. Um, Yeah, if anybody has any suggestions for the YouTube hashtag stuff, I don't. I know LB Soda was used in Twitter and some other places, so LB Soda would probably work, but I don't. Again, that's where I'm not really great at. So, um, yeah, again, so Peace and Love is talking about methodologies to get icons onto their map, and this is stuff that I believe would be able to be accomplished through a Lua add-on. Yeah, so that's all methodologies. That's up to like a Lua developer to do that type of thing. So, um, okay, so send a message in Discord. Okay, all right. Well, we'll be yeah, we'll be discussing Carlos. We'll be discussing that type of stuff here, or I'll if it turns out that it's something like is a wish list or whatever, we'll point you to the forums. But yeah, right now I'll look at the one in the Discord, but it's like I get so many DMs. I guess it's kind of just important to say is that when contacting or reaching out to the devs, please be sure to use support at trytheavatar.com. If there's questions or stuff that can't be posted in public, otherwise public forums. That type of thing, or Ask a Devs, or the wish list, or the bug forums, depending on what the topic is and where it applies. All right, let me go here. So, man, so much stuff. All right. Um, Yeah, so the empty streamer bundle is the deco version of the streamer bundle because we found that players wanted to use streamer bundles for decorations, and that's apparently the reasoning that was provided to us as to why they were hoarding them. We every streamer bundle will produce a deco streamer bundle at this point. So that way, there's no reason to keep the originals around. So you could go ahead and get rid of those. Um, and let's see, I see other people explain that. That's good. Um, Yeah, so if you refresh your browser, that's basically restarting the stream on your side, Spellfire. So that's Twitch. Every time the stream actually stops on your machine, they consider that an appropriate time to give you an ad. So if you have bandwidth issues or or if I have bandwidth issues and the stream goes offline and comes back online, everybody will get an ad. So it's just silliness, but that's how that works. All right, let's see. Okay, so good. All right, I'm finally caught up on that stuff. I know I have the API question and the spider room. I think that's all the outstanding ones. So let me do the prize drawing. Um, so basically, where is hey, look, it's our website. Okay, there. Let me get this going. There it is. Okay. All right. So we should have prizes. Well, the winners of the prizes momentarily, and then I got to figure out what I'm going to give you guys. So, all right. One. What is this using? Oh, okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see what we can do here. Um. So we have where is it? It should be. Oh, it's probably in a recently added. That's probably the better place to go. Um. Okay. So since this stream, this is actually kind of a good thing. Turkey? You want a turkey? Is that what it is? Actually, it's yeah, need more turkeys. Yeah. Actually, we've been taught. Sadly, as I said, when did I say this? We were having a meeting, I think. I don't remember, but it was just in the last few days that it said it's like we were getting ready for all the stuff for Halloween and the fall and Christmas and everything like that, and Yule and everything like that, and um, uh, and, and when we got our stuff, all of our stuff ready, it's like all of a sudden there was a whole bunch of ideas, all sorts of stuff, but it was way too late. There was no way to get them into the release and everything. So now we have a whole bunch of stuff that's going to be ready for next year for spooky and all that type of thing. So and it actually is a good thing. It's part of what we're trying to do. Going into 2026, we're kind of buffering things up so that way we could get ahead of the curve for our monthly commitments for items and subscription rewards and stuff like that. So when we get to the where we want to be, we'll actually be working on next Halloween stuff, you know, for this from at this Halloween, whatever, if you follow what I'm saying. So, that way there'll be time to fill in gaps and have ideas and get them in there before it's too late to get them into the game when the timing is appropriate. Such as these cabinets I still have yet to talk about. They really should have been in the game last release, and along with the ultra rares that were supposed to come in. But the whole thing, the whole concept of it all came together and said, all right, now this is too good to pass up, so this is what we're going to do. And so there's a little bit of a delay on getting the stuff in there. But of course, we'll talk about the ultra rares in a minute. So, okay, so I'm gonna do uh, I'm gonna do a fancy marble podium. Prizes. Yeah, fancy marble podium, right? Yeah. That'll be one of our prizes. I have the results of the prizes too, prize drawing. too. So just want to see if I can get the prizes in there now. We'll do a painting of a bloody ghoul. Okay. And there was another painting I wanted to get in, but it has some animations in it, and then I'm learning animations, guys. So I was able to get it somewhat functional, but I need to do the next step in my education, my animation education, so that way I could fix a thing with it. And then so sadly that one's gonna have to wait until next Halloween unless I could find some other reason to bring something spooky into the game between now and then. Um, let's see here. All right. I'm going to do a quick 30-second poll. No, not even 30 seconds. 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds to respond in Twitch. White or green for the garden chair. Not garden chairs. The where is it? This yeah, large green iron garden table and 5-chair set. I think we have. Oh no, we only have green. So let me see. Actually, I'm hoping green wins. Well, actually, green's winning. So there you go. Good. Excellent. So we do have like I could give you chairs that would be white, or silver and green. But yeah, I forgot that's anyway, green. So a large green iron garden table set. No, actually, this might get me in trouble too. But yeah, I'll have to deal with it. Green iron. Okay, 4. Um. Oh yeah, no, we did have a single one. All right, good. So white or green would have worked. Do do do. 3, 4, 4. That's the one I wanted. The Cornucopia 2025. Cornucopia 2025. So it's the first Cornucopia in a long time. And then the village sized something. I can do this, right? Yeah, homes, 65 homes. So yeah, all right. So I know you all want an Adobe house, right? um, all right. So actually, going with the harvesty type of thing, we're going to go with a 2-story barn village home as the quote unquote grand prize. Barn, 2-story home. Okay, we have our prizes. How about that? Okay, so now our winners are for the painting of a bloody ghoul, Shawnee and Dayantara Teru. We'll get that. A fancy marble podium will go to Michael Berg and Diner. And then the large green iron garden table and 5 chairs goes to Maximum Damage and Reckless. And then the Cornucopia 2025 goes to Seal Astra and Hyler Duroc. And then we have a barn, 2-story village home going to Aunt G, ANTJE. I'm not sure. And Michael Berg Oh, look at that. We got a duplicate. Yeah, there you go. Congratulations, everybody. Woo! Just to repeat that Lainey is AFK this weekend, so the prizes will be sent out after next weekend. She's actually on the road for this week, so don't get anxious. The prizes will go out. They just will be delayed for this time around. Um, it's the end of the year, a lot of stuff going on. Okay, now we have some outstanding stuff to talk about, uh, and I'm positive we'll be doing another round of prizes. Um, yes, we only have a 26, 20, whatever, something like that. Um, oh, okay. All right, Carlos, I see. I just read your private message, so I'm hearing. We'll talk. Uh, Oh, okay, yeah, I've seen your message before in this one too. Okay, yeah. Yeah, do me a favor, send Carlos. This goes out to Carlos if you're listening. Please send an email to support at shreddertheavatar.com. Introduce yourself there. And you may have done this already, so I apologize if you have, but introduce yourself there and tag me in the thing, attention to Ravalox, and I will I'll get into a conversation with you, and we'll start talking about stuff. Um, and if there's anybody else out there, he's talking about here is volunteering for the social media stuff. So if there's anybody else out there who wants to talk about that type of thing too, I'm assuming more than one person could be helpful because there's a lot of work in that type of thing. So if anybody has any desire to help out with the visibility of Shroud of the Avatar in a volunteer basis like that, just reach out and through support, through the email and support, and tag me. I will be in Austin next week, so and as you could tell from the way things are with me all the time, I'm always behind a little bit on stuff. So um, if there's a delay in my response, especially Carlos, you know that I'm aware of it. So if there's a delay in my response, please don't get anxious. I need to get caught up. So there'll be that. Okay, so let me get back here. I just want to see if there's anything else I missed in. Okay, good. All right, so now I know there was an Ask Dev. Let me just make sure that I didn't miss. I saw it, and I don't know if I. Okay. So yes, Michael Berg asked about episode 2 storyline. New quests will go on, and when will it be finished? Finished, I can't say. Sanyo is actually working on 2 new scenes, the final 2 scenes for episode 2, and of course that ties everything into the quest lines. So I can't. I hoped that we would be able to have that all sorted and done because I already have everything plotted out for what I want to do with episode 3. But I can't start that until 2 is done. So we're not going to, have that conversation yet. Um, and so anyway, Sanyo's working on it, and the quest lines will go through all that, and it's just a very slow process because we used to have 3 different people who would work on scenes or zones, as it were. I'm trying to get away from saying scenes publicly because more people out there know what a zone is, obviously, than the real name, which is a scene. So sorry about that. One of these days I'll get myself sorted out. Yeah, so anyway, that's what I want to say there. And actually, Dabs had asked, I guess, on Tuesday, if every single adjustment made to the game is posted in updates, whether it be a nerf or a non-nerf, I guess. And there's a secondary question to that, but basically, yes, all of the updates are posted in uh, all the fixes and changes and stuff like that. If something gets nerfed, it's going to be in the things. We don't do shadow nerfing or stealth nerfing or anything like that. Because generally, if a nerf has to happen at this stage, that where it would be like what some games do is stealth nerfing. It's because uh, the player base is abusing something. So of course we're just going to say it. I have no problem with just saying, hey, look, you guys did this. Can't have nice things. This is why we had to do a thing, right? So, but bottom line is that if there are any changes in the game that go in that don't get documented, then they may have just been missed, but not intentionally. We don't intentionally hide things from updates because the more stuff that we do on the game, obviously, the better it is to show that we're doing the work and taking time to do all those types of things. So one of those points, though, is that texture changes. Give me a second. I want to change this to daytime. There we go. Texture changes uh, um, we may put in a thing saying, hey, we updated textures for like stone, something like that. For instance, and as I'm standing here and looking at, is this still? I don't think my time change really went in right there. I guess it did. Oh, it looks too dark. Um, but here, so this ground texture looks to me it's been updated because you can see there's gravel and stuff like that on it as well, right? And the stones themselves are clear, they're not blurry. Hello. And if I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find something in here, but um, like, well, you see, yeah, you see how these are blurry? I think I can make those more clear. I don't think those have been updated yet. Um, these have been updated. So, uh, I mean, we have PBR, which is, physical based rendering. So, in theory, the entire game should look as well, could look as good as like Skyrim. Um, Granted, there's a lot of work to do here to change that, but these leaves are probably a really good example that they're crisp, they're clear, they got you can see the veins on them. That's the way that's supposed to be. Uh, and this tree has been updated as well. Um, but if I go, I'm just like I've been updating a lot of stuff, so I might have difficulty finding something in Gaslight Toast that's blurry. Because even here you could see I'll go where the fire is here. So you could see that you could see the leaves on the ground now. 2 months ago, that was not the case. This was just like a green blur. You could have even have guessed, because like at a distance, it looks like it might be just closely mowed grass or something. So I'm going through the whole game and doing this stuff. I'm not the only one updating them, but I probably am the main one doing it. When I touch stuff, I touched all the textures as well. So what the hell is the point of all that? I don't know. I got lost. Oh yeah. So we may say that we've updated textures for a specific thing, um, and um, that the textures may be applied to other items as well. So some items may look like they've been updated or something in the game when they were using shared resources. And of course, I'm not going to go through the whole database and list out all the things that are touched by a change like that. But we will say that we've updated textures and so on and so forth. So uh, I'm not sure what you're saying, Alpha, about only one PBR. I don't know if you're joking around about something or if that's a real question type of thing. Um, oh, I have the Pabst Blue Ribbon. I get it. Um, uh, I think you're just trying to sweep up the gravel, Merrick. There's gravel there. Gonna make a dust storm. Um, Gotcha. Yeah, okay, so it was a joke. I understand now. Sorry. I could be very dense that way. Okay, so the second part of Dab's question was, and do we sometimes control the mobs to be more aggressive or have different patterns? And no, we don't. There's a lot of RNG in the game, and the Shroud random number generation is uh, um, is actually the right RNG. There's two different types of RNG you'll find in games. One RNG will tell you that you have a 10% chance for something, and every roll that the game makes against that chance, it actually eliminates some stuff. So eventually, you are guaranteed to get that 10%. Um, True random is that on every roll, it's 10%. So it's you can't sit there and say that after 100 rolls, 10 rolls should be a positive. That's not the way it would work in this. Anyway, the uh, that's man, sorry, I'm starting to lose it. I guess I need I'm starting to get hungry, I guess. Um, anyway, yeah, I don't know why I said that, but that's the truth about RNG. And oh yeah. See, I looked up where I was. Now I'm back. um, this is why it's good for me to have co-hosts because I tend to get lost. Too many voices in my head. Yeah, so the mobs being more aggressive or whatever, obviously there's RNG applied to all sorts of different aspects of the thing. So no, we don't change any of that stuff. Actually, it brings up a point that I would love to be able to have devs go in there and take over mobs and do invasions and things like that for events. But oh, you're most welcome, Dabs. So the the interesting thing there is that I being on your side of this monitor, right? I used to be on your side of things way back in the day when the game was first started being developed and everything. And I remember that that was a repeating a request saying, "Hey, come on, why don't you guys do this the way you could the devs go into the game as a monster and do stuff." And they always said that oh yeah, well we can't do it, the tech and da 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 da. And I actually was one of the people who's like, it can't possibly be true. And so when I came in here, I started looking at it, and I was like, oh crap, because I was like, I was actually almost convinced I was going to be able to do it with something, and then I I figured out that I can't. Um, and I mean, it's not a can't like it can never be done. It's a can't that I can't do it within a day or two. So I know what needs to be done to do it, and it's going to take some time to. It's one of those things where I have to say, okay, nobody bother me for a month, and I'm going to go do this. Which obviously at this point in time, I can't say that. It's just too many things going on. Um, okay, so. Um, Let's see if you're just joining the stream. In game, say, where is it? Hey, nobody said this phrase in a long time, so I can't cheat and look at it. Fall colors. So fall space colors in game, any chat, whisper it to somebody, say it in universe chat. So if you have not yet said it, say it, and you'll get entered into the prize drawing, which we will have in about 20 minutes, give or take. um, and we'll go from there. So, and then there'll be one prize drawing at the top of this hour, and that'll likely be the last one, maybe for the day. Depends, but we're getting close to my time limits here. So, um, fall colors. Jeez, And Merrick, you better type it in. If you don't type it in, I'm gonna give you a prize just because you don't type it in. So, Mr. Merrick Dragon does not like to enter contests because he doesn't like to win things. You have the same chance as everybody else. Go enter the contest. Yes, that's right. I'm calling you out. Okay, so all right, that takes care of that. Let me just go back a little bit on Ask a Devs here. Um, uh, do 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 do. All right. Yeah. So, all right. Janie Murphy asks, why do some green arrows say take all or steal all? Shouldn't the green all be take all? Um, and we think that the question is that the mouse is always green to open container because you're allowed to open it. So it's that lighter, yeah, dark green for that. But it doesn't mean that you're allowed to take what's in it. And then so the items that are you be stealing would be, I think they're in red, if I remember correctly. So, this is sadly a lot of these things I have to go look at and remind myself how to do it. Don't have all the time I need to develop the game. I don't have any time to play the game. So let's see here. And okay. All right. So one thing, a side note on here, because I'm looking at the Ask a Dev list, that when you guys do an Ask a Dev, one word, ASKADEV space, and then the question in universe chat in the game, those questions get sent to us directly in our internal chat in an Ask a Dev channel, which we end up having more than often actual discussions of back and forth about stuff that are asked in there. So. And of course, do not report bugs in there. Don't report players in there. Don't make jokes with us and stuff like that. Please, serious if there's questions. The most typical ideal question, like the ones I just asked now, are fine. It's like ask, if we control mobs, things like that. That's good. The stuff about the storyline, yeah, that's okay. But things along the lines of like. The intention for Askadev is like, uh, is it intended that this buff works this way, that type of thing, min-maxing type of things mainly. So if there's something that's going on in the game that you're not sure if it's a bug, or if it needs to be wish listed or stuff like that, then then you could ask it in there. But if you know it's something that's not broken in the game and it's something you want to see in the game, then please wish list it in the forums instead of doing an ask a dev. Periodically, and that's like at this point maybe twice a year, we'll take the ask a devs that we've answered and we'll post them up on the in the forums, and we have a thread in the announcement section for Ask a Dev answers. So like the ones I just read off here, we'll go ahead and put those up there as soon as I can find some time to do that. Okay. All right. Yes, no macros. I'm reading in-game chat as well. Okay, so how is it a cat can report me to the guard for stealing? Oh, that's a common thing in all games, sadly. Yeah. In fact, if anybody's familiar with Viva La Dirt League, the NPC man type of stuff, and they just recently did a video about how, you know, how basically the reporting systems like that are kind of silly. But hey, but that's a kind of an AI restriction, and I only say AI, not meaning AI of today's AI baloney, but any NPC that does something in a game is always considered to have AI going all the way back to the earliest stuff, even the original Ultima single-player games. Anything where they're following schedules and able to make decisions on their own, there's some level of AI. So we have the NPCs have that type of ability. The game itself is looking and seeing if anything that has an NPC aspect to it is within the area, and that's how you end up getting caught. So, again, it's one of those things where I would have to go look at it. But as far as like improving things, I'm sure that there's always room for improvement on those types of things. But if you'd imagine, I'd have to split out anything that's non-human into another grouping, so that way the game wouldn't flag it. But again, most of the online games have that same problem where you'll like steal something, you'll get caught, guard will show up, kill you, whatever, fine you, and you look around, there's like nobody there, but the game has something somewhere that it's just you can't see it. So, all right, so let's see. That takes care of that. And I think that I'm down to the spider room one. So let's talk about that. I've seen you bring that up. Okay, so all the way back here. Blah 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 blah. If you're still here, say something. Um, Mondravis, right? Yeah. Um, so I've seen you bring that up in the streams over the last few months, but I am not sure which bug it is that you're talking about. So um, if you don't mind, say just a little bit up there, say what's going on, and come to you. You show me. Okay, well, fair enough. Let's do that. Um, I'll. Are you in there now? Okay. So, oh, they don't respond. Nothing responds at all in that room? They should. Now, I will say, okay, all right, then I'll come to you in a second. But let me say this ahead of time. Um, the uh, what we found, and I still have to figure out what to do to fix this up. But what we found is that the larger the player dungeons are getting, that there's a limit to the amount of NPCs that'll spawn. And as you move through the dungeon, and you get far enough away from the old NPCs, then they'll respawn, things like that. So there are reports, and I'm not saying that this is what you're reporting here, but I just want to say this out loud because this is another ongoing thing that needs to be addressed. Um, there are reports of like going into, you know, a room where five things are expected to spawn and only one or three of them spawn, that type of thing. And what through my checking and testing, what I basically have determined is that that's because um, there's an allotment of how much can spawn at once, and you uh, within range of a player, and obviously that's a performance thing, right? So if you've manage to get through or run past a whole bunch of other stuff that spawn, and then you get to the place you want to be, and then it only partially spawns them or nothing spawns at all, that's because it hasn't done garbage collection yet to clean up the stuff that's no longer in your view. So I have to look into how that's supposed to be done. I will say this as a step to the side, um, that in when we get updated Unity engines installed, and which has not been dropped. That's going to be a thing. When we get that done, there are better controls for me to purge or not even load assets, which is the general term, but deco and things like that, in distances away from the player dynamically. So and of course, as you guys may recall, earlier in the year, I talked about how I discovered a whole bunch of stuff with the LOD system, that it wasn't implemented correctly, and or at all in some cases, stuff like that. So there are already things that can be improved where we are now on the Unity that we're on now. But when we get to the newer one, there's better controls. So this will, along with everything else that we've been doing this whole year, I'm not going to repeat it all right now, because it would be like one of those TV shows, I guess like Saturday Night Live or something, where they scroll like at 50 miles an hour all the bullet points of something. Um, that Scotty and I have been working on optimizing the houses and the decorations, the textures, and blah 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 blah. So I won't go into that all now, but all that still needs to be done. And then in addition, there's more stuff that could be done in the newer Unity. So we're definitely heading in the right direction. We'll get things going a lot better, and that should be able to either solve that problem or do that type of thing. So I don't have an ETA right now. But I tell you that I have an ETA as to when I plan on starting working on it, because basically at this stage I'm taking what's been done and I'm going to do it myself. This is where because I've been going through the project, and every time I touch something, I find something else that's broken. But like I said, all the textures and the material updates and geez, there's terrain things. And when I say terrain things, I'm meaning the engine for the terrains, because there actually is a separate engine that we use, or I don't know, call it an engine, but mechanic for the terrains. And the terrains have to be fixed and updated. And I got all this stuff pending. I have an actual full list of from that Unity output that told me all the things. And I'm sorry, Mondrevis, I know I'm digressing, but I'll be there in a second. um, some of the stuff isn't exactly broken, like there are warnings, things like that. Like I'll give an example that may or may not make sense to people, but the level of detail, the LOD groups, and we've talked about it a lot, and everybody's talked about it for 10 years on this project, and I've been working on correcting those things, mainly for the houses, and then we also have to fix it for all the decorations and things like that. And this is something where most all of us on the team at this stage know how to properly implement the LOD system now. So we've been working on that. There's still some optimization that needs to be done, even beyond implementing it correctly, to make sure that the LODs are affecting lower the lower detail clients, people who have to play in fastest and things like that, that the LODs are addressing it, and that they're lowering the quality faster than the people with the Uber rigs. But nonetheless, the point being is that those generate there's a situation which actually there's a ton of them like this, where there are LODs within LODs. I'm saying this is not right, so don't lawyer me here. The actual verbiage is that there's nested prefabs, and no, you can't. Nested prefabs, which is basically where you take a prefab. So like that frog that I'm looking at right on the screen here, that actually happens to be Merrick's. Let me get the light back on. That frog is a prefab. Now it's a special kind of prefab, but we won't go into that, right? So let's just say it's like a vase of flowers or something. It's a prefab. The vase is a prefab. The flowers may be a separate prefab. And when you put them together, by default, you're nesting a prefab within a prefab. Okay. Now they each have their own LOD group, which will cause things like if anybody's seen the Shogun houses, where windows will disappear as you walk away from them, and then they'll reappear, and walls will disappear at different times, and it looks really horrible, actually. That's because of nesting, and that has to be fixed. But my point here is that if in a nested prefab somebody makes an LOD group and puts all the prefabs in the same LOD group, they have their own LOD groups. So now they have multiple LOD, they're members of multiple LOD groups. This affects performance on a larger, well, not on a large scale, but on a larger, bigger picture, right? So the more of that's going on, then obviously it'll add up. But even more specifically, when we do our builds take 7 hours, and I can't give you an actual statistic, But I could tell you that my builds would be shorter, less time, if my builds kept on didn't keep on finding things like that. So as it goes through it, it says, "Oh no, we found another prefab that has multiple LOD groups," so it has to correct that on its own. And I actually looked at one, not specifically for that. It was something else, an error. Um, there was um, there was a mesh in the game that is broken. I guess the mesh file itself was like corrupted or something. But so Unity during the build rebuilt it. It repaired that thing to regenerate the textures and stuff. Um, and um, and what um, what that particular one ended up adding 0.0011, so basically 11 milliseconds or microseconds to the build. But if you can imagine thousands of them being like that, it's adding minutes. And if there's other things that are wrong, that's adding minutes and da, 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 da. So I don't know, I might be able to save an hour off our builds if I fix all these stupid errors, which don't affect the operation of the game in a massive way. But not only fixing them will speed up my builds, it will overall increase performance of the game and allow us to migrate. Ah, look, he comes around to the real thing. Allow us to migrate from Unity 2018 up to 2022, because that's one of the problems is that when Devil Cult and Devil Cult primarily, and then I was helping him, we were trying to get ourselves from 2018 to 2019 back in the day. I guess it's about 3 years ago at this point. And we had to fix all that stuff, and he was working to fix that, and fix all these problems that wouldn't allow us to migrate. So that's basically what I'm looking to do. And my target for this is to start working on this in January. So I got to put it all together. There's structure I have to change and fix all that stuff up, so that way I can start doing it. Because the migration work that we've done now is worthless. I mean, so I'm keeping it anyway because there might be some stuff in there. If he had to do some scripting changes or whatever, I could go and steal some of the code. But basically, this leads to some other stuff. Next week, as I said, I'm going to be in Austin, and I will be putting in a new server in the data center. This is the first of a number of new servers that are going in place. One of them is behind me now. So when we get all that together, I'm going to be able to install new instances and development environments, so that way I could go ahead and start doing things without affecting production. Right now, I don't have the ability. I don't have enough drive space and stuff like that to do all these things. And there's other stuff that we will. I know that if I even mentioned a whispering of it, that I would just be hung from the nearest tree. But this will allow us to expand into some other, doing some other stuff that folks will be happy with. So, as I said earlier, or last month, 2016, that we're looking to do some good stuff. Obviously, we need to get our visibility, our social media, and all these other things together and make to make all this work properly. But next year, I'm hoping to put the steps in place where we could actually have some significant stuff completed by the end of the year. And I will tell you guys more about that next year, because right now I physically, well, not physically, how does that work? I actually can't. I just can't talk about it yet. All the stuff is kind of coalesced, but I have to wait for some certain things to occur before I can start talking about details. So now, Mondravis was very has been patient in waiting for me. So I will go over to, I think I can do it this way. Yeah. let's see what happens. So we'll head over to him. Okay. Uh, Hee hee hee. All right. So I have about an hour left that we could do stuff on the stream, and we'll spend some time looking at this and see what's going on. And we do have a prize drawing to do. So if anybody has not yet done it, please say the thing. What is the thing? Give me a second, Andreas. I need to find fall colors. That's it. Yeah, fall colors. You don't have to repeat it. If you've said it already, you're in. It's okay if you repeat it, but it's not gonna hurt anything. Okay, let me see. Where did he go? Okay. Oh, look. Isn't that nice? Green fire. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, this is one of the dungeon entrances we put in last month. So, and, oh, enter dungeon. Okay, so now, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll wait 2 more minutes and then I'll run the prize drawing, so we could do that in parallel. Okay. All right. Cool. Have you posted? Awesome. No, thanks. Yeah, I was kind of happy with that. I want to do. We actually have some more stuff coming in for basement entrances and dungeon entrances that are not going to be the traditional blue swirly. So, okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Turn on the light here. I kind of lost him. There he is. Okay. This is the spider room is one of the first rooms that I worked on when I started doing the player dungeon stuff. Um, I ended up making 3 variations of the room. This variation I think is the original one where all the spawned version of the original where it has all the webs and stuff floating around. Oh, that's a cool idea. I like that, Henry. So what are we doing here? Then I made a pristine version and a deco version. So we have the 3 different versions of the room, and the floor plan for them is adjusted for all 3. Okay, so missing a lot of spawns here. Now, saying that there's supposed to be spawns here, or that you'd like to have spawns here. I don't. I have to go look in the. Actually, you know what? Hold on a second. Where are you? Yeah, hang out here for a second. They're missing. Okay. All right. Let's go into the editor. So now you can see the editor. Oh, and by the way, this is the it's fine cherry display case. Yeah. And this has got a container drawer in it, and then this is the front. Yeah, this is the front. So the door opens in it, and then you could display whatever you want inside. So this is a what I call dynamic display. So you could put anything in there that you want that'll fit into the cabinet. The other 2, sorry, Mondravis, this is how it goes. All right. Oh, oh, Yeah. So we got the Macabre one. I'm an ISO, so it doesn't look right. So there. This one's all gothic-y and stuff, which of course is get a little bit more light on it. This one will not open. Um, this is one of the reasons why these are not on display in the game yet, because I had to make some uh, scripting changes and stuff to them. But this one here is going to be like like the fish tanks or the mannequins. You'll be able to click on them and get the menu up with slots. You'll be able to put any doll that we have in the game. It's going to be specifically for dolls. And so you'll have a doll that can go in, and then there'll be, and this may end up being a secondary thing, but I'm trying to get it in right away, is that this backing in the back here, if I disable that, then it's glass all the way around. So you could have this cabinet in the center of a room, right? Um, And the idea here is that when you have the slots, three of the slots will be the rear and the two sides. So if you wanted to actually have it set up where the cabinet is actually a solid cabinet, you'd be able to do that. Or any single one of them could be turned on like that. And then our plan is to allow for variations on those boards. So um, there'll be like right now it's just a piece of basically a piece of wood that matches the cabinet, and then the hold on a second. All right. Then there'll be alternate versions that would be able to be. I think they're going to be crafted or gold merchants or something along those lines. I'm not sure, but so anyway, so let me bring up the spider room here. Spider with spawns. Yeah, cool. Just gotta think about it. All right, so there you go. There's a spider room. All right, so get it? Memorize all that? There'll be a quiz later. All right, so yeah, I see what he's saying. So there's, I have spawns on every level, and you're not getting those spawns. How big is, I have to get back to the game here. Hold on, wait. Okay. Um, how big is this dungeon? Is this, I know this came right off the thing. So is this just the foyer and this room? Just one room. Okay, yeah, then yeah, that's definitely weird. And the fact that you have a spider in the wall here is also very odd. It chittered at me. Um, oh, I see. Okay, that's this is the boss room, right? Okay, all right. So, um, I need to figure out where I was. Um, okay, so is it mainly the spawns, or are there any other issues that you're seeing? There are the spawns. He's talking to me in chat game, by the way. And they don't move. Oh, okay, all right. Okay. Well, actually, that tells me a lot. Um, that may be why we're having all the problems that you're seeing so far, that you've described so far. Yeah, if they don't move, okay, all right, then I will prioritize this. And yeah, I'm not sure why when I looked into the bug, I didn't get what was happening. But all right, I got it. So I will I'll go in and address this. If there's any other details, I mean anything non-spawn related, because I see two different things I need to fix at this point, with regards to the spawns. But if there's anything else, please add it to the bug report, which I'm assuming is in the forums for this. So yeah, okay, all right, cool. Thanks for being persistent, and we'll sort through this. And I'll make a point of updating the. That's interesting. Okay. Hmm. All right. Yeah, I'll make a point of updating um, the bug report for it and ask you to test it on QA. Mondraves, are you able to get onto QA? Do you have the QA client installed? Okay, cool. Awesome. All right. All right. All right, cool. I'll check all that out. Thanks. I'm gonna head back over to Castle Atos. And I failed to run the pricing, so I'm writing that now. Okay. Okay. So, and for anybody else, especially the newer players, if you haven't um, been made aware of that yet, you could install um, a QA version of the game, a quality assurance testing version. And you could find the links to get to that. In fact, I will bring that up on the screen since I could do it this way now. And in the player test environment section of the forums, there are links to download the QA client for Windows, Mac, Linux, and so on and so forth. So basically what you want to do, assuming that you have, basically expect to duplicate the amount of hard drive space you're using for the game today. And of course, to install something like this, you pretty much have to have double that space. So, this is like adding another client onto your machine. So just keep that in mind. I think it's about, where are we at, 30 gig now? 2019, 20, I don't know. I don't even know where we are uncompressed. I know the patch itself for the full install is about 13 to 14 gigs. And then when it expands, I guess it's around 30 gig. So basically you have to have enough space to be able to expand it into temporary and then move it in and do the install. So just keep that in mind. But if you have that ability to do that, then you could use the QA server for a a ton of things, from buying something out of the Crown store to see if it fits on your property, because when you log onto the QA server, you're actually given crowns of the Obsidians that could be used on the QA server for free. There's additional XP that's given to you, so you could build up your character and test skills. So there's all sorts of stuff on there like that. And once in a while, we will come out and say, okay, we have a testing directive. We need you to go check out this thing. And this either to fix bugs or to prep for a new feature or something that's coming into the game that we want to have the players throw around and smash against walls before we try to put it on the live server. So when I start working on this spider room to fix this issue, then I will put out a testing directive, and I will update the bug report in the forums, so that way Mondravis is also directly aware of it. So anybody who has QA client installed, they could get onto that server and help out and check all that stuff out. So, um, okay, cool. So let me see now. I definitely have. Well, I guess since I'm on the website, I'll do it this way. But um, I let me see. Did they second check something on here? It doesn't look like that updated. Yeah, it didn't update. Okay, good. All right, I'll do one more. Get that done. And alrighty. So there we go. All right, got our prizes. And we're gonna basically do wrap up. I think I got all the questions. I hope I didn't miss any of the ones that are up there, apart from the Ask a Dev that was just asked twice. But I'll get back to you on the localization programs. That's another debate that we have to go through, um, and figure out what we're going to do with that. But I did the localization program itself. Well, not program, but the localization mechanic itself was broken, and I fixed it. So we do have to discuss what we're going to do with that. But again, nothing in 2025. It'll probably be a 2026 effort um, along those lines. But we'll get back to you guys with all that stuff. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay. So anyway, I guess I could kind of yeah, yeah. So that's exactly. I need to bank time. Just send me your time, and then that way, 1 week will be 2 weeks. So yeah, as you see here, this is one of the kind of work sessions that we were getting together and doing stuff. Uh, this is a couple weeks ago, right? And Sky was working on the podiums at the time, and Samuel was working on the episode 2, and oh, actually, this is yeah, no, this is actually like 6 weeks ago. So interesting. Time flies, man. Time flies. Okay, so uh, I have when I do the ultra rares, I put up these banner ads on the site on the main page. This month, I actually kind of did a cute little dual mapping. So it's one banner ad, and you could click on this side, it'll go bring you to the 6K, and this side will bring you to the 10K. And of course, I'm gonna shill a little bit, and I'm gonna bring us to the 10K. So um, hopefully it's not too colorful, but I try to update the page, make it a little bit more readable. And So right now we are offering for anybody who purchases a 10K or 10,750 gold crowns package, or the 6,000 some odd package, 6,300 I think it is, that and they claim it. They need to purchase it and then claim it in game before the offer's over. They will get a bonus item, and in the 10K, it's an undead jackalope doll. Um, so that the doll's animated. Um, I will bring you over to hometown in a second, and we'll take a look at that. And then, in addition, because why not? I even said this somewhere that I think it was in the newsletter that um, uh, Ron Popeil, if anybody remembers Popeil. Some of you guys might even only know that from a Weird Al song, but yes, you can still do it. We've extended it to the 12th. This is extended to the 12th. Does it say on here about the 6th? But do, 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 do. I think I leave it generic up here because basically what happens is when I put the patch in to end the sale, and I take the banners off the web page, that's when it really ends. But oh, did he really? Oh, that is so funny. Ron Popeil's daughter sang backup on that song. Yeah, so but the I said that Ron, is one of the things is like, how much would you pay now? And, that type of thing. So, yeah, the Ronco dolls. There you go. So basically, we got the 10,000 Kodo pack, which the Kodos are currently on sale. I'm extending the sale all the way out to November 12th, and this is because I ran into difficulty getting the jackalope to work, the animations and everything all done, where I was happy with its look and all that stuff. So, uh, and I wanted to get it into the game, so that way you guys could actually see it. And so since that took so long, it's lack of visibility. So now this way you guys got more time to uh, think about making that purchase. So if you purchase 10K Kodos, which are normally $100, it's $80 for 10,750 Kodos on sale, and you get with it a bonus ultra rare Jackalope doll, and that the ultra rares are offered um, here now and never again. So so hold on a second. Let me take care of this issue. There you go. All taken care of. Yeah, so this is one of the wonderful things about Shroud of the Avatar. For those who are watching this on YouTube, you didn't see it, but we had a wonderful person come in who apparently is, I don't know, just jealous that they can't play the game right now or something. I don't know. But um, 12 years, still here, 12 years, guys. And yeah, not a scam. So uh, whatever. Some people just love making fun of things. So anyway, where was I? Yeah, so these ultra rares, as opposed to in the past. Uh, thanks. We're not Portalarium. Portalarium is gone, and Catnip was technically the second phase in generation, and this is kind of like a third phase in generation of developing the game. So um, we're these things are not going to be sold ever again. They're not going into the vault. They're these are true rares. So I'm coining the phrase of ultra rare. Actually, so as a marketing term, it's ultra rare, and they are only going up periodically, and you can only get them when you buy these Kodo packs, and that's it. Period. Done. That's it. So, um, yeah, well, that's has to do with the bank account. The bank account, well, not the bank account itself, but the account for the credit card processing. Uh, we couldn't change the name on that, but I've changed it everywhere else that I could. In fact, um, what should show up on your statement now should actually be Soda or Shroud of the Avatar. At least definitively, I think for because I had to change it in PayPal and our credit card processing company, Stripe, and both of those are updated. So the newer ones should not say Portalarium anymore. But you know, yes, the install folder still says Portalarium. Same thing. Could you imagine? For me to change that name, I have to go in and change all sorts of stuff in the builds, and I have to change. Oh, PayPal still says Portalarium. Okay, good to know. I'll probably call them about that because I think that I did change it there. Um, so if yeah, specifically if I wanted to change the Portalarium install directory, I would have to change two pieces of software that we have not touched since 2018. One of those is the launcher, the patcher, and the actual, like the install process. And the problem with that is that that code is uh, written in Unity 5. Okay, I will wait for the shutters and all the mouth hanging open and stuff happening. So yeah, that stuff was written all the way back then, and it's never been updated. So just like us migrating to a newer version of Unity, I have to actually go in there and rebuild the launcher as well, and which I'm sure is not going to be too big of a deal. But there is definitely stuff deprecated, and I'm just positive there are better ways to do things. In fact, anecdotally, March of 2018, the game officially rolled out and went live that way. We had there was a bit of a party down in Austin, a release, an actual release party, kind of a ball type of thing, right? And Richard had introduced the lady. There was a lady that they had hired um, to rebuild the patcher, the launcher, all from scratch, because it's not the ideal setup. And basically, we all know what ended up happening within the next 6 months or so. So that never happened. But just like migrating to the newer Unity, the launcher and the patcher has to be redone and all that neat stuff. So that's on the plan as well. Anyway, going back to this, so so you can buy the 10K pack or the 6K pack, and you'll get the a doll. So the in this one, in the 6K pack, it's a voodoo doll. Both of these are animated. They have an action to take. But as I was saying, the Ron Popeil aspect of things is like, so the Kodos are on sale. You're already getting them for 20% off. You get this bonus doll, which is, I guess, technically priceless because it will never be offered again. And then you also get uh, a bonus. Um, uh, Geez, I'm losing my words again. It's the M word. Why me? Why me? I can't remember things. Um, ah, well, actually, macabre. Sorry, yeah, there's macabre, right? Certain words blocked in my head. And I came up with that name. Jeez. Jeez. So the macabre doll case is this dark. It's a dark gothic uh, doll case that specifically will allow you to place a any of the dolls that we have in the game, which right now are pretty much all the haunted dolls. I will probably add the creepy doll to that, the artifact, in case you want to display it. And we are going to be adding more dolls into the game. And not all the dolls are creepy and haunted and stuff like that. So I think there's at least one or two other miscellaneous dolls in the game. And there's another cabinet, a fancy one, that's kind of like I guess, an oak or cherry color wood that'll be available in the Crown store as well. These cabinets do not open. These are not ones where you could open the door and place the thing in. This is going to be, as I said before, like the mannequins or the fish tanks, where you will have a menu that'll come up and you'll be able to drag the doll into it, and it will put it in a pose in the cabinet. So some of the dolls will appear as, like, if you placed them out as deco, like these two actually are those typical examples. But like I have at least one of the dolls, the intention is that it will be standing, and there'll be like one of those back brace things to hold it up. It'll be standing in the cabinet. So just because, why not? And the macabre one, my intention, and this is I'm hoping that this will work, is that not only when you place the dolls into the macabre one, uh, other additional spooky things will be added to it, which the player will not have to supply. They won't be slots; they'll just happen. And uh, this tech will probably be improved or even adjusted as time goes on. So, but right now, that's the plan. Um, and we shall see how that all works out. That's why they're not in the game yet, because I've been working on the code. Basically, it's a mixture of the fish tank code and the mannequin code plus extra, because I'm looking to add extra things into it automatically. So it's not like it's all like brand new function tech, but it's a mixture of stuff that like I couldn't just plug into a script and add variable names for the dolls and then release it. So I'm kind of rewriting a bunch of that stuff. And it's at this point, I think it's probably about 80% there. My intention is to get it done, obviously, get it done as quickly as possible, so I could patch them into the Crown Store to be available. Um, but I want to make sure that I got as much of the tech done as I can, so that way, if there's anything I need to add or want to add to them after they're in game, it won't be intrusive to the way they're being used. So, um, no. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to put any decorations on the cabinet, so you won't be able to hang a sign on it saying not to ever open the door or anything like that. You could put something in front of it, I suppose, or whatever. That's up to you. But as I showed before, the wood planks, or the wood boards on them for to block off the sides. Those are intentional. Those are intended to be removable. So that's the part I'm working on right now, and those also would have slots. So there would be a slot for the left, the rear, and the right, and then you'd be able to select which ones you want to have the boards present, or just allow the glass to be there. So that would allow you to put the cabinets back to back without having to see all the way through them. So it's a preference type of thing. So trying to give options, right? And all that neat stuff. So anyway, that's bonus. And this cabinet is not an ultra rare. The doll's the ultra rare. The cabinet's going to be in the Crown Store. And we came up with the concept for all this all at once, but wanted to make sure that I fit well. Not want to make sure. Figured that it would be really cool to give the people who get the ultra rare dolls the cabinet right up front, so that way, and that's going to be in the Crown Store for 1,000 kodos. So based on all the functionality and everything, uh, and so it's an additional 1,000 kodo value to this package, whether you get the 6K kodo pack or the 10K kodo pack. So, so I hope you guys enjoy all that, and like it. So, and buy lots of them, please. Um, So, yes, oh, absolutely. Well, yeah. The cabinets, you'll be able to buy as many of those as you like, and the tech will already recognize all the haunted dolls, and so all the haunted dolls will be able to be placed into this cabinet. Yeah, so you can have one for each doll, right? The current dolls, everything. So, in fact, let me let's see if this is the right scene. Yes, it is. Okay. So recently I fixed the audio on the existing haunted dolls. Um, it's actually kind of funny. Trivia. The original haunted dolls were actually a pack of dolls that were obtained you know, obviously messed with and updated by the devs back in the day. Um, that was called a Haunted Dolls pack. So that haunted aspect kind of stuck with it. So any of the dolls that are labeled as haunted uh, are supposed to have animations and sounds that are you know, scary, creepy, or you know, something along those lines. So, and the creepy doll is an artifact, so that's a separate thing. So for the moment, I got the voodoo doll is a haunted voodoo doll. The jackalope is in that one actually. It's again third-party asset, but undead jackalope. So it doesn't have the haunted name on it, although it kind of qualifies as one of the things. So there is like I want to say like a Raggedy Ann type of doll. Um, uh, in the game that's, you know, obviously not haunted or whatever, but that will also be able to be placed in the doll cabinets as well. So I want to have all the dolls in there. Now, when I release these things, I'm definitely going to have the haunted one set up because it's, you know, my immediate goal, but I will be expanding it. And then as we add new dolls into the game, they will be added into the cabinet as well. The macabre cabinet will be the only one that will add, let's call it environmental aesthetics. um, to the cabinet when you add the thing into it. Oh yeah, there's something that didn't make it into the game yet. So I came in here because this is where I got. I think there's a doll missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's supposed to be 7 in here. Um, but if I recall correctly, I think you guys can hear. Oh, I have my audio muted, so. Yeah. Set this, set the weather. Get rid of the rain sound. So, yeah, actually, uh, I have, I actually have something for that, and we're not putting it in. The Annabelle doll's not going in. So, all right. Well, no, thank you, Merrick. That's why I just want to know if you heard it. You heard the rain. We actually have the model for the Annabelle doll, and the doll case or doll cabinet that the Annabelle doll was in that real life mess or story or whatever it was, um, is what we used it as a um, you know, an idea model or something, if you follow what I'm saying there. Get rid of that. Okay, so each one of these dolls has its own stuff. Well, that one's a little bit longer, but I'll do that last. Get We're gonna get a little closer. And you know, like this one's typical. I think everybody knows about that one. So that one, the sounds are new. The sounds that were on here, I didn't like, so I just basically remade the sounds for it. So here's the jackalope. So I may improve these sounds down the road a little bit, but for now, this would work. Gets the idea across. Then we have, of course, just in case anybody's not seen it, typical type of thing. Don't let your sister hear you say that. Yeah, oh, the voodoo doll's not out here, you're right. And but there's also another one, I think, right? The original set was 6, and then I think that was the 7th one, right? Um, I don't remember, but for some reason I think that there's a doll missing out of this mess. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but let me put out the voodoo doll, and we still will go over to hometown too. So, oh, is this? Did I? Ah, there it is. That's the missing one. I put it in my inventory for some stupid reason. Okay, I'm gonna have to add the item. Um, yep. Oh, and I don't know if you guys can read the text or not, but note that it's actually in a folder structure called Ultra Rares. I mean, I have taken every precaution uh, that down the road, future developers will know. Do not touch these. Do not give them out. Do not sell them. Do not reuse them. Um, right. Oh, I should have. Uh, yeah. uh, What did I do here? No. Right. All items. Voodoo doll. Yep. Oh, and for anybody who's ever gotten one of these things already in the past, you'll know that this is what you'll find when you look at it. Okay. Um, future. What? The prediction of the future is mute. No, actually, I don't even know if. Yeah, the world sucks. But um, so so any of the ultra rares, the description text is in this slate blue color. Um, so it's unique. So it's different than anything else that's in the game. Um, and in the editor, I actually have extra, things saying restricted item, things like that. So I want to stress that, you know, committed to making sure that these items are not put out there. Every time we come up with an idea for what the ultra items are going to be, the ultra rares for that, iteration, we make sure that it's not something that that we're going to want to reuse in some way, shape, or form. Now, I will say, and I'm going to say this right up front, with jackalope, the jackalope is a mob. It will be in the game otherwise, but it's not going to be deco. It won't be a deco pet. It won't be tameable. Don't ever ask me for a tameable version of a jackalope when the jackalope goes into the game, because the answer is no. There's no way I'm going to do anything that's going to make it appear that you have one of these ultra rares. Anybody who gets these ultra rares, that's the special support that they're giving us when they buy those 10K Coda packs and stuff during these events, is to make sure of that. The painting, yes, we could do a painting. Yeah. So and actually I grabbed that off of the screenshot that I put up there. I grabbed it and named it painting idea. So I obviously it's that yeah. So anyway, there are certain things that we put in the game that I'm not sure that we're gonna make tameable. So some stuff needs to actually just be out in the wild, as it were. With the jackalope, the undead jackalope could end up appearing. And by the way, the mob version of the jackalope is not that small. It's quite big. So the undead jackalope could end up appearing someplace in the game, but there's also actual regular jackalopes that will appear in the wild. They're not going to be very common, but I have a feeling that you'll find them once in a while out there. So wallpaper for houses, that is definitely something that we've been talking about. We have not implemented it, but I've actually been working on some stuff that goes along the same lines of the text. So I can't give you more information about that yet. So, you know. Okay, so okay, so let me put. Oh, yeah, that's right. Put down the horned voodoo doll, and we'll get down in its face. Close this out first. Okay, all right, and sadly, because the smallness of it, you can't really see too well, but it's holding a it's got you know a pin or sewing needle through its hand as well as its head and stuff like that. I'm actually quite happy with this one. Um, this doll is really well put together, and the mesh on it is not overly done, so I didn't have to do a lot to fix it for performance or anything like that. So very happy with that. So here's without further ado, here's the voodoo doll. So there you go. Um, and that one also can be a mob. Now, of course, I wouldn't be putting that into normal places in the game, but imagine an army of voodoo dolls attacking something or someplace at some point. So, anyway, yeah. So these are all the quote unquote haunted dolls that we have in the game currently. And as I said, I think that there's at least one floppy doll and um, a floppy doll and a creepy doll. I think there's two more dolls in the game at this point as well that would be included in the doll tech for this. So now, of course, the third doll cabinet, and I don't have where's here. I'm going to throw the fancy doll. Do some do a little bit of cheating here, just because it takes a little bit less time. There we go. Um, and not to confuse the situation, um, so I'm going to put this a little bit off to the side. Uh, but oh no, that's not the right one. Stop that. Where is it? Way down here. Yep, there we go. All right, so I'm just gonna put that away from it. So go back to the game, and so these are the two doll cabinets. These do not open. As I said, there's nothing, you can't click on them to open them up. Um, but um, and then they'll have the UI on them, so that way you could place the dolls in there and or change uh, the wall segments to either have glass or blocked walls. This one is, of course, I can't open it because I just placed it in a weird way in the thing. But this door opens, and the drawer is a container, so you'll be able to store stuff in there, and then you could place anything that you could fit in there. Um, Normal type of stuff. So you could put dolls in here as well, but you could also put other stuff in it. So including dust bunnies. Okay, so let's see. Yes, the 12th of November. So if I can, I'll write down update update the website. I'm gonna like try to put the whole date thing up in big. 12th sale. Okay, so we'll see what we can do about that. All right, so Let's check something here. Okay, cool. All right. So, blah 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 blah. I am going to jump over to. Oh, this is not. That's the editor, not the game. All right. I am going to jump over to Hometown because I promised to, and I'll show you. It's going to be the same thing, really, but they're on display over there. So if you want to go get really up close to these things, head on over to Hometown. So as I said, or wanted to say, um, you could buy as many 10K Kodo packs as you want, as many 6K Kodo packs as you want. You will get a ultra rare bonus item, well, in this case, items, uh, an ultra rare bonus item and a bonus item for every Kodo pack you purchase. So if you get 10 10K Kodo packs, then you will get 10 Jackalopes, which I believe some people think is a really great thing. So if you want to support the game, the more of these you buy, the better off you'll be in supporting the game, or better off will be when you support the game. Um, the um, when the sale's done, whatever number of these things exist in the game, that's it. There will be no more of them ever, and then you'll be forced to go to uh, some of our very creative in-game trader type people to buy one for 1 billion gold or something. So let me get rid of the rain because, of course, there's rain. It's always raining on my game. I don't know why. But the ultra rares are here, and you can click on them here, so you'll be able to see them in action. Time to call CC. Okay, so pretty much that's everything I got. I know I owe you guys a prize drawing. In fact, since we're so close to the top of the hour, I am running another one now. I can figure out where there it is. Hopefully I made sense for most of the stream. And as I said, hopefully I didn't drop any questions. So I think I actually did pretty good this time around. Okay, so yeah, we'll as we get close to the 12th, I'll probably put up reminders, MOTDs and things like that, and hopefully if I keep my head straight and stay organized. This is where I need the player base to help me out. This is word of mouth um, is definitely a thing. Where am I? Yes, okay, here. Prizes. Okay, running the last prizing. And yeah, I mean, subscribe to the game. If you could afford to subscribe to the game, we have 3 tiers. There's a $9 tier, there's the $18 tier, and the $27 tier. The all 3 tiers um, potions and titles and I think it's like quarterly or periodic. I'm just say periodic because I can't remember if it's quarterly or. I think there's like some quarterly stuff, and there's some like every 6 months there's a thing, and like there's a title that's every quarter. I think it's every quarter, right? Yeah, and then there's obsidian stuff, obsidian potions, dyes. That's it. Yeah, thanks. And so there's a lot. Let's say it this way: if you subscribe for $9, you get 900 kodos. I mean, dollar for dollar, that's it right there. The $9 is paying for kodos. So if you're gonna buy kodos, might as well subscribe, and then you get all the extra stuff too. The $18 one gets you 2,000 kodos. So it's a deeper discount on the kodos over that, and then you also get all the other stuff. And then the $27 one gets you, I don't remember, was it 3,000 kodos or 3,200 kodos, something like that. Um, um, and uh, and all the other stuff. So, and of course, the more subscriptions, 35. See, bonus. um, and In all cases, the monthly cost of the subscription is immediately paid back in Kodos. I mean, that's then you get all the other bonus stuff with that. Plus, subscribers get subscriber rewards for logging in each month. So if you log in during the month, you will get up to um, well, approximately 3 items. It depends on what the items are. Sometimes we do sets of things so that way, but it's we gauge the values on those things and we make sure. So uh, the the uh, this month the bonus items, or I shouldn't say the bonus items, the subscriber items uh, were stalling, stretch. Right? Go back to the original release notes here and go down. Yes, so we did subscriber login rewards for this month were a pick one bag of the new podiums. So you could pick one of the 3 styles. We gave away one of the marble ones today. So there's an obsidian, a marble, and a wood one. There's tech on these new podiums. So if you place a book on uh, the lectern portion of the podium, the book will snap to the lectern and be at the right angle and stuff like that. And you could place an open book on there or a closed book and so on and so forth. Uh, then there's also, I believe this was also a pick one of the autumn street lamp. Um, and basically, this has a street sign on it, so you could um, player define what the street sign says. The light on it works, and then it'll have this decorations on it. And as one of the players actually discovered, because we didn't actually advertise it, periodically there's a little leaf that falls off of it as well. So it's got a little bit of VFX going on there. And then the third subscriber reward was the 2025 cornucopia. So if you subscribe to the game, you get first crack at these. Basically, it's the release goes out on the last Monday of the month, and the subscriber rewards don't go into the Crown Store until the Friday of the first week of the next month. So it's basically 10 to 14, well, not 14, but 10 to 12 days in that window, whatever that is. I think it's about 10 days. That the subscribers will have those things in the game before anybody else does. So that's the exclusivity period that we kind of have there for them. Which of course those are tradable, and those players are welcome to trade with other players and have a little in-game commerce that way. After that, they are in the Crown Store, so they're available to all the other players at that point. And as I said, here's the details down here. Reading the release notes really helps because all this information is in there. Subscriptions help us. Obviously, at this point, buying Kodo packs will always also help. And right now, you guys get bonus items and really good deals because they're on sale, and you get the bonus items along with that. So I can't stress enough that please support the game, and you definitely can play the game for free. There's no shortage of stuff that you could do. Episode 1 is a free-to-play game. Episode 2 is an expansion, so there's a right now it's early access, but there's a purchase to get to episode 2. But still, we stick with our concept of making sure that there's no paywalls against stuff in episode 1 and most of the items and decorations and things in the game. So there are ways to either craft or obtain most everything in the game otherwise. So, with all that said, I'm going to read off the prizes now for the last prize drawing, which this one didn't kick off, so I'm gonna have to rerun that. And then I will say goodnight. Let's get this up here. Okay. Okie dokie. Come on, work. And then I gotta start the build for the patch to get the lamp posts are currently not available in the Crown Store. They were supposed to be available today. They didn't turn on, so I have to do a patch to turn those back to get those turned on, and the uh, the generic display case will also be the fine cherry display case will be in the Crown Store as well. And that one's going for 650 crowns. Yeah. So the doll cases have special tech and lighting and stuff like that. So they're a little bit more, you know, higher end. But the display case doesn't. Currently, there's no tech on that, so that's going in there. So okay, I got the prizes, so I can stop talking. All right, so we have a painting of a bloody ghoul that is going to Ola Horend and Shepri. Then a fancy marble podium, which is going to Trini Lopez, and the Mule of Dabsalot. Uh, then we have a large green iron garden table and 5 chairs. That will go to Chufu Sand and Aurelius Silverson. And uh, wait, what I did something wrong here. Large green goes to Chufu Sand and Trini Lopez. Sorry, there was a duplicate on that one. It got me looking at the wrong line. So Aurelius won something, but he doesn't know what yet. Cornucopia 2025 goes to Aurelius Silverson and Chaos Goblin. Then our final grand prize drawing of the day is a barn 2-story village home. And that goes to Cryothin Ice and Satanica de Evil. So there you go, guys. That's another successful live stream in the bag. Okay, so I will, as I said, I'm going to try to, today's Friday, so of course I got stuff to do over the weekend in the real world, because, you know, this is not the real world. This is wonderful stuff. The real world sucks. So I got to do some real world stuff, and then Monday through Thursday, I will be in Austin. So I expect that I'll probably do at least one dev work stream next week. And but I will be. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will be doing work in the data center as well. We have that new server going in. I'm trying not to do anything that's intrusive, but if I do have to do anything that's intrusive, I will definitely put up warnings at least a day or two ahead of time. So I have to pick up some hardware when I get there on Monday, and then do some extra prep work. And then I'll be migrating some things around. So this is all really to eliminate old servers. I'm trying to do stuff like the game server's not moving yet. That'll be last. And the active database and things like that. So I'm staying away from things that are critical to the game. So I'm just, you know, trust me, I'm trying not to do anything that's going to put anything at risk. So anyway, well, all that. Have fun, guys, and please support the game. Buy stuff. Yay. All right, I'll talk to you later.